Is it a car? Is it a plane? Actually, it's both. So we're here at the Terrafugia booth with the transition. And I'm actually standing here with Richard Gersh, who's going to walk us through this hybrid. Is that a good term?
We call it a roadable aircraft.
Okay.
This is first and foremost an airplane, but it's an airplane you can keep at your house. You don't need hangar fees. You don't need rental cars because your airplane is kept at your home. It's street legal, which means you can drive it to the airport. Once you get to the airport, the wings unfold in about 40 seconds. You can go flying off. It's got a small 4-cylinder, 100 horsepower Rotax engine. You can go highway speeds on the ground, again it's street legal, or you can fly it between 100 and 115 miles an hour in the air. The company actually had its basis at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where a number of students got together who were in the aeronautics program, and they were about to graduate, and they said, what should we do now? And a new regulation came about called the Light Sport Aircraft Certification, established by the FAA, which basically said, as a manufacturer, you can build a small airplane, and as long as you build it according to these guidelines, you can self-certify it as the manufacturer. That costs significantly less dollars than building a standard certified airplane. So this group of MIT engineers got together and said, we think we can build an airplane, but not only that, we think we can build a flying car airplane. This is the result 6 years later. We built the first prototype in 2009. We call it the proof of concept. That one drove and flew. This is the next generation. This is pre-production. We'll be delivering these in about a year. This particular model has done quite a bit of its drive testing up in the Boston area. And on March 23rd of this year, just a few weeks ago, we had its first real flight.
Oh, wow.
We had it up in Plattsburgh, New York at an old military base. And our test pilot, Phil Mateer, took off with our chase plane, and they formed up and together flew off into the sunset. Actually, it was in the morning, but it had a real flight under its belt. We wanted to prove the concept that we could design, build, drive, and fly an airplane, and that's what we accomplished.
So what's on the ground? What's the top speed and how many miles per gallon?
Good questions. Highway speeds on the ground up to about 80 miles an hour. We'll have no problem. The 100 horsepower engine will have about 35 miles per gallon on the ground. In the air, it's going to burn about 5 gallons per hour, which gets you around 450 miles at a normal cruise rate. And that's going to take you somewhere in the vicinity of 3.5 hours. And at that point, both you and the airplane are going to want to land.
So for fueling, am I going to my gas station? Am I using diesel?
You are going to go to your local gas station and you're going to fill it up with premium unleaded gas.
Oh.
This is an engine that's certified to run on unleaded, unlike most aircraft engines that do use leaded gasoline. So as far as the EPA is concerned, the fact that we are using unleaded gas is a real plus. The same engine powers both the rear wheels on the ground and the prop in the air using a transmission.
Wow.
So on the ground, the propeller's not turning. In the air, the wheels aren't turning, but you're using the same engine for both. It's very light, very reliable, and it's cooled by both air and water.
So when we're on the ground, what keeps the wings folded? So just like, God forbid, we're on the road and the wing unfurls and
it actually can't do that. Okay. There are safety interlocks that when the wings fold up, there's a clip and a locking mechanism so they don't flap around.
Cool.
It's a very solid vehicle. It's about 1,000 pounds. It's made out of carbon fiber. The gross weight, which means the vehicle, fuel, passengers, and baggage, is set at 1,430 pounds. So it has a payload of about 500 pounds, meaning you can, in a combination of people, baggage, fuel, and gas, up to 500 pounds.
Wow, that's not bad.
But it's got 4 wheels and tires, just like your typical car. It is an airplane. It has the footprint of a large SUV. So if you can put an Escalade in your garage, you can put a Transition in your garage. It's no different than driving a car. It's got a regular steering wheel. It doesn't do anything else but steer the car. You have a gas pedal and a brake pedal on the floor. That's all you need to know. You drive it like a car. When the wings are folded up, the mirrors pop out. We haven't those out for today. But as far as visibility, there are mirrors and a rear-facing camera. It has all the safety equipment of a regular car. So you've got seat belts, airbags, high beam, low beam, turn signals, backup lights. It meets the federal crashworthiness standards. This has all the safety equipment of a car.
Okay.
And it's in an airplane. So by definition, we've made a very, very safe airplane. To fly it, the wheel stays attached. You actually taxi the plane with the steering wheel. There are 2 pedals outside of the gas and brake. Those are the rudder pedals, because the pilot actually steers the plane in the air using both the rudders, and we have a control stick, which when you're flying, comes up.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So you don't use the steering wheel in the air because it won't do anything.
Okay.
We do have a horn, which you can use in the air if you're behind somebody and want them to land quick, but we don't recommend it. But you fly it like a small airplane. You use the stick, you use the rudders, this is the throttle, and this is very, very familiar to the pilots of small airplanes. So nothing is unusual. You could drive this on day 1. We'll give you some training, but the drive aspect is like driving a car.